elephants this morning at something nice to look at. You can see how red the bark is there. It's a Marula tree that the elephants were taking a bit of bark off. So soon the Marula season will be in full flood, and there'll be fruits all over the place, and elephants will start walking almost from tree to tree, just getting and eating the fruits. And a bunch of other animals will start utilizing it as well. I've seen warthogs in winter months eating the pips of the Marula fruits later on, when all the flesh and stuff is gone from the fruits. They start chewing out to get to the very nutritious nuts that are protected in those hard shells. It's always quite entertaining watching elephants around Marula trees when they're busy with the fruits. It's almost like they don't want to leave, and when the fruits are finished on the ground, they'll start headbutting the tree, try and get more fruits to fall down so that they can just keep eating. Donna, this is definitely the tree that Marula is made from, and I think it's one of the few drinks that no one cultivates the plants that they make the drinks from. Let's say wine or something, for example. Marulas are brought in and collected by local people and taken to the factory. The factory is about an hour and a half's drive north of where we are now, close to a town called Palaborwa. And the local people collect all these fruits and take it to the factory, which is quite nice because it brings in the local community and gives a bit of money back to the local area. And I think it's amazing that we're getting something from something that is not cultivated. Folks, we're gonna head over to Brent on bushwalk. He's got some more creepy crawlies to show you.
3, 2, 1. We have the battle of quarantine happening at the moment. So there's some polyrhynchus ants that are busy moving house. So they are moving their pupa and their eggs from one house to another. But there we go, Dave, there. The evil robber flies are coming from above, and they are trying to steal the eggs. So far, the ants have managed to defend their eggs successfully. Oh, where's he gone? But we'll just find it. It's just happening all the time. So as we wait, you can see the ants that are carrying the eggs. There we go, Dave. There's a robber fly. Let's see if it goes for an egg. It's looking for a gap, but the ants are running incredible defense. So every ant that's carrying, there we go, Dave. Look at that. Oh, the ant got away. Every ant that's carrying an egg is often escorted by an askari, or an armed guard of one of the other ants, and what they do is chase them away. And let's just watch for a second as the flies wait for their opportunity. So far, we've seen it happen a lot, but the flies have been unsuccessful in stealing an egg. The ants are winning the battle so far. Now, for a fly of that size, just one of these eggs is sufficient to keep them sated for a very long time. Now, you can see the flies are playing the patience game and descending. Let's have a look. Now, we're going to get to a stage where the ants have finished moving house, so there's no more eggs above ground. There's one. There we go. Oh, and you see how the ants come in to defend. It's absolutely incredible. Herbie was the man who spotted this, so thanks very much, Herb. This is absolutely amazing. Oh, there's an ant with an egg. Is the robber flies? Are the robber flies going to descend? Let's have a look. So, oh, there's a lot more eggs to move. So I found where they're moving nest from. They're moving nest from down there. You can see there's a lot of them moving. And they're coming up these branches and down the wood into another hole. Now I'm just going to have a look. There's about 7 or 8 different flies that are trying to steal an egg at the moment, but they are playing the patience game. They're sitting on the edge and descending when need. Let's have a wait. Hello, Alana, who's 13 years old. Alana is wondering, if the queen ant dies, what will the workers do? Well, Alana, one of those eggs we've seen them carrying will immediately become the queen. So there's obviously a chemical reaction or something that between the different ants that they'll know. So one of those eggs will immediately become a new queen instead of becoming a worker. Okay. Oh, there's a big battle. There's no backup ants. Is the fly going to win this one? Oh, there's the backup. The backup arrives. No, but this is a very persistent fly. Oh, he's got it. Where's the backup? Oh, well done. Oh, sorry, Dave, you were sitting on my shoe, on my foot. So far, I mean, we've been here for about 5 or 6 minutes, and not one fly has actually succeeded in getting an egg away from the ants. Now, if the flies weren't so selfish and they worked as a team, they could be a very different story. It's amazing, all these little life and death struggles that happen every day out here in the African bush. Now, remember, this is 100% live, so we're watching a battle for the ant eggs live, and of course, we don't only watch battles for ant eggs, we watch lions and leopards, and really exciting. Come the 1st of January, we'll be going live every Sunday night at 10 on Nat.Geo Wild for Safari Live's first ever series. How exciting is that? Now, if you want to ask any questions, remember hashtag Safari Live or questions at WildEarthTV. Let's go have a look what's down here. I've been trying to find the most obscure flowers. Well, Mobile Paddy says those ants would be great the next time you need to move house. It would be. Imagine having the strength of an ant while moving house. So we've been looking for some obscure flowers that haven't really come out yet, and I'm just taking the opportunity for a lot of you who might not know the flowers. We've got 3 quite common species all very close together. That is a wing-seeded sesame. Incredible plant, very closely related to the normal sesame plant that a lot of you all know, sesame seeds. There's an amazing amount of oil. Now, in Tanzania, these plants are actually cultivated commercially and are crushed in very old school crushers, that hand crushers, and the oil is extracted, and it's called mafuta, which basically means fat there, and it's used for cooking. Now, one of my favorite little flowers and is an Oldenlandia. It's this beautiful little star-shaped flower, and they don't do much apart from being very beautiful. And they are heliotropes, so basically means that those flowers will turn through the day to follow the sun. Now, I'm even impressed with myself. We've been talking about acrea butterflies, and I've now found some butterfly eggs. And it's on a Waltharia. So almost certainly one of the acreas have laid their eggs there. See that? Isn't that incredible? So when those hatch, they're going to eat the plant, and become highly noxious. Okay, let's let go. I don't want it to fall off. Ooh, gentle, gentle. Kathy would like to see an African violet. I actually walked past some just now. Where were the African violets? Well, I'm sure I'll see some more. I think there's some more towards Inga's house. Let me just make sure there's none around here. Dev, come here. Crawl along the floor. Another one of the more common species at this time of the year is wild basil. Now, it's quite fascinating, this. These are actually petal or leaves, sorry, and you see how they turn purple, and the flowers are quite small and indescript white flowers, but they do that because that purple will attract the different insects and butterflies to come feed on the flowers that are a little bit harder to see. So that purple is for something flying past that spots it, and it's then attracted to the plant. Now, this plant, oh, lovely, really good. If you cook lamb, or actually any of the roasts, you can cover it in leaves. What I like to do when I cook with wild basil is I will make a sort of vinaigrette with wild basil, olive oil, vinegar, garlic, and then I'll let the meat soak in that for a couple of hours before cooking it. It is wonderful. Yum, 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 yum. Actually, I'm starting to get hungry. I hope Amanda's cooking us a storm this morning. Maybe I should take Amanda some wild basil back for breakfast. Now, while I sadly keep thinking of breakfast because now I've brought it up, let's go see what F is up to on the vehicle.
Welcome back. While Tayla's got some vehicle technical difficulties, we have decided to try and sneak in and see what those lions are up to. We've been so envious of you having a good time with Tayla with the lions, we thought we might get a quick sneak peek in there as well. So we're still quite far out. We're going to keep moving and try and see if we can get with them as quickly as we can. Might get a bump every now and then. We are moving a little bit faster than normal, but yeah, just be patient with us. To me, it's very nice to be able to get to know a couple of new animal groups and animals in general, like spending time with the Birminghams. When you work in this industry, you always hear about these animals and the Nkuhumas and all that, so it's nice to get to know them to an extent and learn more about their behavior and the area that they're in and the areas that they cover. Just keep expanding the knowledge of these animals. That is brilliant. Quite a bit of action this morning with it sounds like someone else had some elephant in the area as well. We went past that area but didn't pick up anything, so maybe later they'll show themselves again. Who knows? We'll have to wait and find out. For the time being, let's keep moving. Let's head into the direction where the lions are and try and get a view on them again. It sounds like they're still moving up and about, but we'll find out when we get there. I think while we're in this area, we might as well go past Sydney's dam again. I don't think it's too far from here. See if there's any activity around there. Maybe someone else came past the area after those elephants moved off earlier this morning. We'll quickly shoot past there and then keep heading out towards those lions. While we stay on the move and try and get closer to the area, we're going to head over to Brent on Bushwalk for an update.
Yay! One of the small little beauties of quarantine. Again, it's one of those flowers that is not that interesting apart from the fact it is absolutely gorgeous. It's called a blue haze or a blue evolvus, and another signature species of disturbed areas. So you often find them growing on the side of roads. They do attract quite a few of the really interesting little butterfly species, the hardest to identify, the blues. Now, I haven't seen any blues yet. Now, what we're doing is we back across quarantine. We've changed our plan, and we might give you a behind the scenes look at how to fix a clutch cable. We'll see. So, as I'm sure you've heard, I've taken my car for one game drive, and what happens? Okay, apparently we're having a little bit of, how's that? Audio break, better cursed. There we go. We're going to meander through back towards there. If you remember sort of last December. Oh dear, I think there's something wrong with my cable here. Let me just try fix it. How's that sounding? Because of course it's very important, you have to hear every word. James and I were trying to fix, I think it was Wendy, and we both got schooled in the art of fixing cars by Janie. So I am not the most mechanical person in the world, but I've been in the bush such a long time and I've had to fix so many cars that I had to learn about certain things. Whereas Janie's much smarter than the rest of us, and she's got an incredible mind, and she can work. If it's something that's broken, then I'm absolutely, I nearly said a bad word, I'm absolutely out of my depth. But Jamie can actually figure it out, which is absolutely incredible. Quite happy to have a fiance, I won't lie. So, looking for flowers. Kathy has asked for an African violet. Sorry, let me try. Oh, Dave, stop! Don't move! It's a blue! Don't, he's gonna fly. Oh, Dave, I told you. One of the tiny little blue butterflies that are the hardest to identify. Did you get him, Dave? So also what we're going to do is change my mic cable so we don't have this horrific audio breakup.
I got him there.
I'm just going to have, there we go. Get some screenshots, send them to me, and I'll try identify it later. We're going to go try fix our mic cable quickly and also help take the vehicle. But let's see what F is up to on Wendy.
Lisa, while we're on our way to the lions, we've bumped into two giraffe. You were asking about them earlier. So they are still around. We've got the proof now. It looks like it's a male and a female. It's moving around together. Female is the one we are looking at now. If you look at those horns that are actually called ossicones, they're quite thin, and there's quite a bit of hair on the top. The males, the horns are thicker and less hair on the top. Let me move forward a bit so you can get a better view. How nice is that surprise? Came around the corner and here these two are standing. It's brilliant. There's a third and a fourth one further into the bush. That one looks like it got a bump on the head when it was younger, when the ossicones were still softer, still cartilage, and then it's fused into that shape. Is there a road here, Vim? Oh. We've had quite a bit of luck on the bigger creatures of the African bush. We've had the biggest land mammal in the elephants, and now the tallest one, the giraffe. Great stuff. Always look so graceful when they move around. No worry in the world. Should we go forward again? There's a squirrel sitting in the tree. Oh, there it is. Playing around, you can just see the tail fanning. I wonder what it's spotted there. I think there might be a second one. It might be chasing each other around. Should we go forward a bit? Sammy, you would like to know how fast giraffe can run. I would say around maybe 60 kilometers an hour, 50 to 60 kilometers an hour. They are not the most graceful when they run. It always looks quite awkward. Always have a nice chuckle when they start running. These long legs, they're going everywhere. Shame. It's amazing how they can feed on these trees with all the thorns on it and it doesn't bother them. Just chew on, pull the leaves off and carry on. Paul, I'm glad to hear that you are as excited about seeing elephant and giraffe on the same drive, and it's been quite a while since that has happened, so it's brilliant to have shared that with you. It's very interesting how these browsing animals move from tree to tree, with the trees protecting themselves with tannins. As soon as the tree's attacked by an animal that's feeding on it, it starts producing more tannin, and that makes the leaves taste bad and forces the animal to move on, which is a very good thing, because then we don't get all these bare trees of a giraffe or something that stood at one and finished it off and then only moving off to the next one. It is brilliant how nature uses subtle changes in things to protect itself and to preserve itself for the next one to use it as well. Android, you would like to know if giraffe is an endangered species. As far as I know, I do not think they are. I think the only thing that might give that impression is that we haven't been seeing a lot of them. But I think their numbers are still relatively good. Yeah, I think they're still okay in that sense. Let's move a bit forward and see if we can see those other ones better. Good morning, Franklin. Where are you hiding? Ah, there you're calling. Sitting on a tree that's been pushed over by elephant. Sitting high up in the branches. Hiding from us. Ah, there we go. Crested Franklin. Telling everyone in the area that he's still around and not to worry, he survived the night. Liz in Wisconsin, thank you very much for that bit of information. So, giraffe have just been listed as endangered. That is not great news, but thank you for the information. Yeah, I wish we had a different story to tell there, but as human populations keep growing and wilderness areas keep going smaller and smaller, unfortunately, that's one of the things that is going to happen. So sad. Aaron in New Zealand, you would like to know what is the biggest group of giraffe that I've seen together. Young males tend to live in bigger groups, and I've probably seen about maybe 20 giraffe together like that. Only a bunch of young males, not really ready to have any say when it comes to dominance and mating rights, and they just spend time together enjoying each other's company. When they grow a little bit older and they start being more dominant, they will start doing their own thing more and more. With those young male groups, there's quite a bit of sparring. The guys stand next to each other and swing their necks and heads at each other, playfully just fighting amongst each other, sorting out a little bit of dominance. Not that I think it makes a big difference at that stage yet. Only when they're fully grown and they get into serious fights for mating rights. Those fights can get quite serious. I had a sighting once of two males really going at each other, and we were probably 50 meters or so away, and we could hear these thuds on the body when they hit each other. It's quite a scary sight to see these two things using their heads as hammers hitting each other. And I could just imagine the pain one of us would have felt if we had to be hit by a giraffe in that manner. Folks, I think while these giraffe are disappearing off into the bush, let's carry on. Let's go and see what those lions are up to. I don't think we're too far from the lions anymore, so it might be a couple of minutes and we'll get in there. Harris in Greece, you would like to know how many lions it would take to take down a giraffe like this. I think the group of lions that we have here, with the 2 males and the 5 adult females, they will be able to take one of these giraffe down very easily, especially with the males being there. That extra bit of power and weight that the males have will definitely help to push a giraffe off its feet. And lions are quite smart when it comes to hunting giraffe as well. They try and get them to slip, get them into an uncomfortable position, and once they've fallen over and on the ground, it is very, very, very difficult for them to get up again. Even when they sleep or rest, they try not to fall over flat. They always keep their heads up with their legs tucked in under their body. You don't really want to see their legs outside because it's very difficult to get those long legs back into the body, or under the body, and then get up from there. Folks, while I get back with those lions, we're going to head over to Tayla, who has moved into the tent. Let's see what interesting stuff she's going to come up with today.
Now, I've arrived in James's favorite office, and well, I better be careful here because I don't think he would be very happy with me if I were to break anything in this tent. I've broken another vehicle today. Though these things happen, wear and tear is, of course, very common out here, and I'm not sure what really happened, but I did get home safely. Now, a question that we often have when we're out walking around, like Brent is doing, is what do you keep in your backpack? But I'm going to pose a question to all of you. Now, have a look over here. You can see I've got this big box, which some of you may have seen. Oh, you can't look because I've shown you what could be inside here. Let's close it. With force. Yeah. No. Okay, well, I've broken something else now and there. Now, I have a question for you. What do you think I keep inside this big case? So it's an outdoor case, and normally it's for cameras, but I'm not going to tell you. I take it with me wherever I go when I'm in a vehicle. It's a bit awkward and heavy to carry around. So if you can guess what items I have inside this big black box, you can either hashtag Safari Live, or you can send some questions some answers through to questions@WildEarthTV. But we'll get to that in a minute. We're going to come across to the microscope, and I've always wanted to use this. I'm so excited this morning. I think I'm going to break the vehicles more often because I never really get an opportunity to use this beautiful piece of equipment. But you can see inside there, I managed to find, as we were opening up the tent, some form of a grasshopper. But we're going to try and have a look at it. Now, how do we get this to work? So I'm just very quickly going to try and fiddle. Now, you have to sit still and cooperate, grasshopper, because this is my first time in the tent. And it would be, there we go. There we go. On the microscope now, you can have a look. And it's unfortunately covered in a couple of cobwebs, as you can see. I think it was wrapped up inside the tent, and I'm trying to keep it as still as possible. I do apologize. But you can see, isn't it beautiful? They're amazing camouflage. Let me try and sharpen it a little bit more. Go down to its legs. No, the other way. There we go. Look at that. Bits of yellow, black. And you can almost see like it's got little hooks on its back legs. Isn't that incredible? And if any of you have ever picked up a big locust before, you actually would have felt them, how sharp they are. And I remember as a young girl one day catching all the insects in the garden, even though my mom told me not to. And I grabbed very gently, of course, I grabbed a locust, and it sprung out of my hand. And as it sprung, using those powerful back legs, to launch itself into the air, one of those little edges caught me, and it actually cut my hand. Now, there's something red on it. Can you see that little red thing? I'm going to try and go closer. No, almost. A little bit too far. Sorry, I'm still getting the hang of it. Oh, there we go. James is so good at this, and I've got the shakes because I'm so nervous to be in James's office. I can't get it now. Come back here. There we go, almost. I apologize, this is me being absolutely useless with the microscope. There we go. What is that? Can you see that? Is it a mite or something that's on its leg? It's tiny and red. Oh, we've lost him again. Right. There he is. Now, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to come and practice after hours. Right. I'm absolutely hopeless at, of course, the microscope, but I will come and practice. But we'll just have a look at him as he crawls over my very dirty hand. Look at how beautiful he is. You are very cooperative. Now, we've got a couple of guesses that are coming through for my box, but I'll get to them now. But I'm just so fascinated by the camouflage on this little grasshopper. Now, it's amazing. It would blend in with a piece of bark or even a piece of wood or even amongst the brown leaf litter very, very well. But I suppose I better put him back. Probably a little bit traumatized. Do you want to live up here? Here we go. You can be a computer ornament today. Now, James, you guessed that I have a couple of things in this box. You said maybe an extra memory card. I'm sure the camera must have been one of the things that were in here too. Kirsty, what else was said? I've completely forgotten. It disappeared off of the top of my head. First aid kit, guidebooks, and a couple of other things. But let's have a little. Ooh. So Diane, you say sun cream, binoculars, and rain gear. These guesses are fantastic. So now we're going to have a look. So you can see it's got nice foam to try and protect my camera, which is very dusty at the moment. Now, there's lots and lots of goodies in here. So, firstly, we've got my favorite bird book that's held together by tape that I've had for the last 5 years, and it's got lots of rain damage to it. That comes with me wherever I go. Then we've got another book that's a lot about the animals in the Great Kruger. Then we've got flowers, and there's something in here which is actually a piece of grass. That's not a flower. Get out. You're not supposed to be in there. Then, now we've got my favorite notebooks where I write down all sorts of nonsense things like information and spot patterns of leopards, which I forget which page they're on, and I write them down. And I've got another notebook. This is an old one. This one has been with me for such a long time. I think I have had this since I started guiding, if I'm not mistaken. So you can see my handwriting changes. There's a bird challenge. Oh, this is the bird challenge we did the other day. So now you can also see how many birds we didn't get to get on screen for you, and I would have got close. So the ones that are circled are the ones that we didn't manage to get on screen, but we saw, but they flew away before we could show you. So those, I haven't really added anything since then. So we've got that. Then a couple of other things. Sweets. Obviously got to have some sweets in there. Hand lotion to keep my hands nice and soft. We've got, this is my favorite. This is a new edition. It's not quite a waterproof case like my other one. Now, this is a little device that has got battery on it. I can use it to charge my mobile device or anything that you can charge with a USB cable. But it's also, where's the button? A little LED light as well. Isn't that quite handy? I normally have a big light. Oh, and we've got, I don't know, disco for midnight rave. Ooh, ooh. Right, got that. Put that away. I haven't actually used that yet. I got that the other day. Then I've got basically my sunglasses case, which stores all sorts of pens, like cleaning gear, so things like this to wipe the camera, a little pen, and all sorts of other things. We'll put that away, though. Then this, that is supposed to go on the end of your camera, but mine is not. Sunscreen, very important. Should I apply some? Even though I'm not in, we'll just close my eyes, because I've done that once where I've opened my eyes before and then sprayed it in my eyes. My favorite piece of equipment. And then there's a few more things. You won't believe how much you can fit in here. It's like a woman's handbag. This is, oh, do you remember this? Do you remember my chameleon that I drew the day that we caught Brent out and we said we found the first chameleon? But it has been stored in my disease book. It's all the injections I've had to get when I travel around Africa. So that's in there too. I don't know why that's in there. That should probably be in the safe. Chewing gums, and last but not least, very important, headphones. Now, well, it's empty, almost empty. That and a couple of leaves from I don't know where I was last at. Now, I need to try and pack this all back in here. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I'm going to send you back over across to Brent and see what other little critters he's found.
Now this is one of the most ferocious creatures. It actually took quite an ordeal to catch it gently. So obviously I don't want to hurt the animal, so I'm holding it very, very carefully. So I'm just going to drop it down a little bit, so it's a bit easier for Dave. Unfortunately, I'm quite a lot taller than Dave. If I put it there? Okay, so this is one of the ground beetles. Look at those gnashes. I mean, if this guy bit you, you would know all about it. We should see how well it does, and if you want to see some Blair Witch Project-like camera work, I'm going to drop it in Dave's pants after we finish this segment. Now, this ground beetle, if I hold it back up towards my nose, now I never face these towards my eyes, but I can actually smell the acid. So in those incredible gnashes, there's actually formic acid. This is one of the species that is unable to spray formic acid, but the 2-spot, which is the one we normally see, is able to spray formic acid. Now, the amazing thing about being in this forest industry is you never know who's going to be on your vehicle. And I was privileged enough for 5 days to drive the head of the Harvard entomology department. And I learned an incredible amount about insects, and he was about 70 odd at the time, and I remember at one of our drink stops sitting there talking to the other guests, and all of a sudden I see my guest disappear under the vehicle, crawling on hands and knees, and he was chasing one of these ground beetles, and he managed to, I use my Leatherman, I don't grab it with my hands. He grabbed it with the hands behind there, and I was like, please be careful, because obviously the last thing you want is a guest bitten. And I was like, they spray and he'd already held it to his face. He's like, you can smell the acid. And so obviously he knew, but obviously I didn't realize how into beetles he was. Now, as you can see, they've got an incredibly hard exoskeleton. So it's, when I touch it, it's literally, it feels like a solid rock. Now, he's busy playing dead because I'm holding him like this. You can see his legs twitching, but I've managed not to hurt him at all. So if we put him down, watch here. I think he's going to be very excited. Whoa! There he is. He's a bit confused. He thought he'd been attacked by a bird that wasn't eating him. So he's running straight towards Dave. They're very, very cool little, well, not so little, big beetles. So I try always when I'm handling the different insects and stuff, be as gentle as possible. As you can see, there's no... Okay, now I was going to show you something else, but I'm not going to deny you big cats on the move with FW.
We have just gotten to the lions again. They're on a bit of a mission this morning. They keep moving. We've only got 4 of the lionesses now and all the cubs, and 1 male. The 1 male is still sleeping somewhere behind us. We'll see if he wants to follow the ladies as well. But let's stick with the cubs and the females for the moment. I think the male that is with them is the same one that we had the chameleon hitching a ride on him the other day. We'll just double check on identification when he comes past. Let's see if we can keep following them. I'm just gonna loop around and get to the side of them, see how we're gonna get through the bush here. It looks like it's gonna get quite thick, but let's find out. The lions are heading in a westerly direction at the moment. So maybe they're heading back towards Arathusa area. They are still quite far out from any of the boundaries, so we should still have them for the day. Brent, come in. Copy. No, they're heading west, still north of where Tayla access, away from the Ndlela they were on earlier. I think it's Galaga shortcut or something. There is still a Madora and a Mafazi further behind these ones on Galaga access somewhere. Yeah, the male is following them. Doesn't want to get too far behind. It is that same male we saw the other day. I remember that's Nkuhuma or Mfumu. It's the one with a scar under his eye. Spectacular specimen. Walk right past the edge of the vehicle following these ladies. And it looks like he's got a new scar. He's got a second scar and he's right under the one we saw the other day. I didn't see that one the other day, so it must be a new one. I wonder if the ladies didn't give him a very warm welcome and handed out a few slaps. Tough life to be a male lion. Folks, while we try and stay with them, we're going to head over to Brent and see what he's got for you on bushwalk.
One of my favorite creatures to find on bushwalk. It is a little dice moth larvae. Isn't it incredible? Look at those extended sort of hairs. Now those are there to make them look as scary as possible so the birds don't eat them. They are absolutely exquisite little creatures. Now they're called a dice moth because the adults look like a dice with the number 4 on each wing. And sometimes 3. There we go. It's quite a small one. We get quite big dice moth as well. Oh, look, he's doing a little dance. He's dancing to Boney M's Christmas songs. I'm going to let him go now. I'll put him back on where I found him. So awesome. I do love dice moths. Oh, look at him go. Oh, he's so heavy he's bent the leaf. Okay, let's put him down. Now, Elana, who's 13 years old, Elana's asking lots of great questions. Would like to know, what is the difference between a moth and a butterfly? And Elana you must be lucky, Elana, because as you said that, a moth scattered up from the ground. There we go. Now it's going to be probably quite difficult to see. Let me just have a look what Dave's looking at. You see him there. So one of the main differences between moths and butterflies is that moths are generally nocturnal. We do get daytime moths and you do get nocturnal butterflies. But as a rule, moths are out at night and butterflies out during the day. The major difference when you look at them is to do with the antennae. The antennae of moths are feathered. Now, that is a very important thing if you're a nocturnal creature. So it's like almost like a form of radar. So they've got that feathered antennae so they can pick up on everything around, where butterflies have a solid antennae with a little dollop on the end. And moths have a far more varied... Oh, it's a termite mound. I thought there was a lion behind me. Behind Dave, at least. Moths have a far more varied diet. Some of them will eat clothes, as you know, and even horns, where butterflies are exclusively plants. Now, we're going to continue. I've heard from FA that the lions are on the move, but we're not going to head towards that direction. My radio is about to fall out. Ha ha! Now, Kathy, I haven't forgotten about your African violet. I am searching high and low for it, but at the moment, let's have a look a little bit high. And incredible. I always find it so beautiful where elephants have managed to rip the living cambium layer out of a tree. Now, this will quite often seal the death for this branch or even this tree in particular. So what happens when the elephants strip the bark from here, and I'm trying to see, this section of the wood doesn't get any nutrients. So if we look carefully what we're trying to do, because this is quite fresh, well, this is the oldest down here, and what I'm looking for, aha, look at this. So it almost looks like sawdust, and if I pick at the sawdust, we should, there we go, yes, find a hole. So when this wood dies, it's not getting any nutrients. See, this bit's still a bit okay. Is that the wood borer beetles, the longhorns and the click beetles, they will start digging in and laying their eggs. And over time, they will, look, there's another tiny one there. Over time, what will happen, they'll absolutely perforate this piece of wood, compromising the internal structure and strength of the wood, and it'll probably cause this whole massive Marula tree that's probably about 200 years old to die and fall over. Absolutely amazing.
Happy Wednesdays! It's game show time with Eggsy and Tayla. So we're here outside now, and I thought we'd try something a little bit different. James and Steph are always trying their absolute best to draw. Well, I'm no good at that. I didn't take art at school. But as you can see, we have a game, and I'm sure most of you will recognize this game. It is Hangman, which I think you play when you're about 4 or 5 years old. So maybe some of you haven't played this game for a long time. Now, if you want to send your answers through, remember, hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, or you can send us an email, questions@WildEarth.tv. And the question for today's quiz on Hangman is, what is I'm talking about myself, Taylor, favorite animal? Now, if you're also wondering that favorite is spelt wrong, no, it's not. That's how we spell it here in South Africa. That's the right way. And I also understand that if you have just started watching the show and you have no idea who I am, this is probably going to be very difficult for you to answer, but I'll give you a clue. And this clue you'll probably guess it straight away. And the clue is, this animal occurs in Africa. And that's all the clues you're getting from me. So send through some of those answers, and we'll try and fill it in. Now, normally you would send in letters, but that would probably take ages. So you can just send in the entire word. You can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters in it. It's the plural as well, just to help you out there in case you got a little bit confused. Oh, Kirsty, was that a guess or was that your guess? Kirsty's guess. Now, Kirsty gets to play as well. She's the director in there. Kirsty said lions. She obviously didn't do very well at spelling. Right? Kirsty said lions with a lot of S's. Kirsty, that is wrong. You get a head. We put lions here. And we put a cross through that. That doesn't work. Now, well, while we wait, of course, for some of the other answers to come through, remember, we are doing a series with Nat.Geo Wild, and it's going to be aired live on television. So if you want to come and join us on the show, you can start watching if you're in the US of A from the 1st of January, which is a Sunday night. And, well, if you want to come and see the silly things we do in the tent, it's actually going to be a regular part of the show. So I hope that we see you from the 1st of January on Sunday night for all of you who are watching in the USA. And it'll be fantastic to join you. I'll be behind the scenes collecting insects for James, running around the tent like a headless hooligan. And, yes, now it's getting awkward. Kirsty, have any answers come through yet? It seems as though you all know me too well already, which is ridiculous. I was trying to hide myself a little bit, not let too much information out about me, but I'm not very good at this game. And most of you have all guessed, well, I'm not going to tell you, I'm just going to write it. Pressure, is it an A? Oh, yes, it is an A. T-C. Elephants. I'm just joking. Of course, this is an S, and thank you for guessing right. It's really nice to know that you all pay attention to me every now and then. But enough of Wacky Wednesdays. Hopefully you can tune in again, and we'll have another game for you some other time. I'm going to send you across to Evia, who's with the Lions.
Welcome back. We've managed to relocate them. They are definitely on a serious mission. They just keep moving. So every time we get to them, they keep moving off. And the male is following a couple, maybe 20 or 30 meters behind the last of the cubs. It's just, I don't know, are they moving away from the males? Are they just moving in general? So let's keep following and see how the story unfolds. The male is marking territory, spraying urine on that bush. No spray, just rubbing his face through the bush and then carrying on again. Let's have a quick look at this male before they go into this thicket again. Android, you would like to know why lions have manes. First of all, it's for sexual dimorphism, to show males and females apart and to tell them apart very easily, as they are social cats. Secondly, and very important, it is for males to have a bit of extra protection to the vital areas, to the throat and the neck area when they are in fights. So it's like almost a bit of body armor. Let's just check. I think we might get them again. The way the road loops around, we might get a visual of them on the other side. Try and avoid the risk of doing any harm, or as little as possible harm, to the bush and the environment and the vehicle that we're driving. Yeah, here is a much easier place to drive in, and they're coming right out at us. quite interesting the way they move. They're all kind of following each other in almost a single file. And from what I've seen, when they move like this, there's no intention of hunting. They really want to get to a certain spot. When they start hunting, they tend to fan out and start moving around prey species and stuff like that. Marsha in Oklahoma, you would like to know if the males follow the females when they hunt, or do they stay behind with the cubs? I think sometimes they join them in the hunt, and other times they will stay with the cubs and protect the cubs from any other danger or possible dangers that might come their way. So I think it depends. Every situation will be different on that specific day. The male is getting lazy with this walking. He's lying down. I think we're going to stick with the females for the moment. While we try and catch up with them, we're going to head over to Brent and see what he's up to.
Look, can you see it? Can you see it? There we go, Kathy. It's the African violet you were asking for. It took us a while. I must have been stomping up and down in this area for about 8 minutes. And Herbie says, well, I can't even help you because I don't know what an African violet is. So I said, well, Herbie, it's the one with the small flower, purple flowers. He goes, no, what are you looking over there for? And he brought me straight here. I also managed to find a lilac-breasted roller feather. Looks like probably from below the breast. There we go. It's not a good one. I can't put it in my hat. Maybe I can put it in Dave's ear. Dave, come here.
You'd look better.
No, Dave, come here. Dave, stop running away from me. There we go. Dave, let's give me the camera, Dave. There we go. There we go. Or maybe we can weave it into your beard. There we go. Oh, sorry, I'm probably the worst. There we go. Dishy Dave is even more dishy. Oh wait, let me get. Oh, sorry, I can't see. There we go. What does everyone think? Does the lilac-breasted roller feather suit Dave's beard? Dave is starting to blush. Look, there he is. Look at the cheeks. The cheeks. And of course, that is Dave the Dish. Now, since F here sort of laid down a bit of a challenge after his mud wallowing, I'm going to end the show in some spectacular fashion, and you're only going to be able to guess what it is. So let's just say it's got a bit to do with water, and it's going to be fun. We'll leave it at that. Every time I hear a vehicle, I just make sure that the lions aren't coming after us. Okay, let's now. There we go. We found the for you eventually. Well, you need to thank Herbie. Megan, in Michigan, are there edible flowers? Are there edible flowers? I saw one. Where was it? There it is. Megan in Michigan, this is wild basil. Carrying on. It's better when you use olive oil. So, you want to eat the young flowers, not the old flowers. The old flowers are quite tanniny. And also, Herbie, can I have some water, please? Just hang on a second. Herbie, throw me water, please. So the reason you won't want to eat the old flowers like I just did, I thought I was very clever. It failed dismally. Thanks, Herb. Okay, Megan, I can talk to you now. Herbie, coming back. Thank you. So you generally want to eat the younger flowers, so or leaves in particular. So the older something gets, generally the worse tasting it gets, and that's why a lot of the animal species will go for the young grass species as they come up. Oh, it's still not going away. Okay, but so I will try find, there are quite a few edible different species out here. There's wild basil, wild aniseed. I don't like licorice, so I never eat the aniseed. Zizzifoots or buffalo thorns also edible, quite nice in a salad. But while we look for another edible flower or plant, F is with something that I definitely would never want to eat, a lion. Let's go have a look.
These lions are still moving. I can't believe it's heating up very quickly, and they're just on the move constantly, every now and then looking back in the direction that they came from. And my guess, I think I can conclude now, is that they don't want this male in their presence. He's going to keep following. He doesn't want to know anything about not being accepted by the females, or them not wanting them around. I'm quite interested to hear what Brent is going to get up to. He was saying something about something that I would never want to eat. So it's going to be very interesting to see what this challenge is all about. I think we must just quickly shoot past here. Jose in Virginia, you would like to know what is my feeling of being next to a lion like this. With time spent out in the bush, you do start getting used to it, but it takes a while. You still get butterflies every now and then because of the respect that you have for these animals and knowing what they are capable of, having seen them take down animals and seen them feeding. It's always a scary thought to know what they could possibly do to you, but luckily in the vehicle they tend to just ignore you and carry on with their daily routine. We are not that far from the Arathusa boundary at the moment. Let's see if this guy wants to spray a bit of urine. Chup, chup. Quick spray. And he's ready to go. Oh, these females have turned around. It looks like they might have spotted something. They just changed their direction completely now. Maybe it looks like a thicker area. Maybe they're looking for shade to sleep in. We'll just see, let this male move off a little bit and then go investigate a bit further there. Yeah, he's given us enough space to be able to move. Don't see anything that could have caught their attention yet. We'll see what they do and where they move. Maybe we'll follow them into the bush. Maybe we'll see something jump up and run away, or see their body language change into going to stalking mode. Excuse me. Some of the cubs are all starting to lie down. Let's just shoot in here. It looks like there might be a little mud wallow or something that they might be drinking from. Let's just get through this little section here. Yeah, there's a tiny bit of water. These lionesses are walking straight into where we want to drive. They're going to come out in front of us behind this bush. Looking on the ground, it looks like a buffalo footprint. Just one or two tracks in the area, and it looks like it's relatively recent, but they've gone flat now. They're lying down, so maybe they've eventually decided it's sleeping time. Folks, let's go and find out what surprise Brent has got for us. We'll see you shortly.
We have one last edible plant before the end of drive. It is a Arathusa creeper that Herbie brought to me. He said it tastes much nicer. I'm not sure, Herbie. It's still quite bitter, but very good pressure. I tell you we were going to do a spectacular closing, and this takes some doing. So I told you, if you're wallowed like a buffalo, I am going to be like a rare animal. It's called a WildEarth staff member during summer. So first I've got to take off all my paraphernalia that is connected to me. So you're going to have to listen to Final Control for me because my ears are out. I'm going to have to put my microphone close by. And I'm going to put this down here and put that down. Put this over here where it's safe. Make sure I've got nothing else in my pockets that is expensive. Nothing? Okay. So this is what happens quite often. Dave is also very good at doing this. There's a couple of us who like to do this, so off it goes. Now I am going to behave like an animal. Oh, sorry, I'm an elephant. Swimming. But it's been great having you on the bushwalk. You can take a bath. And I got to end on a cool note because I'm that cool. But incredibly, there's an eye in the sky who's been watching me. So let's go have a look.
Have a look at this. You can see Brent waving away like the hooligan that he is. I'm so jealous that he got to jump in that pool, but I'm a bit disappointed, Brent. You did not use sprinkles. Now, if you're wondering who sprinkles is, you can see there's a bright pink thing. It is a lilo, just down on the sort of the bottom center of the screen. And well, sprinkles is our donut lilo, and we love sprinkles. Brent is doing a somersault of some kind now, but you can just see how vibrant the bush is as well. And you can also see that they're rebuilding the deck from where, well, that's what happens when hippos get into the area where you live. Go wandering on a wooden deck. But don't worry, the hippo was okay. It managed to get out all right. Just the deck wasn't okay, but it's fine. Now we get a brand new one. Wasn't that hysterical? Brent is really on an absolute roll this morning, having a great time. And I'm pretty sure once the show is done, we're all going to head over to Inga's to have a jump in the swimming pool as well, because it is an absolute scorcher. Now, I know that some of you were asking about my rhinoceros pin. So this is a rhino pin that I've had for many years now, and I always wear it on my shirt. And there are a lot of different organizations out there that you can donate to and obviously help protect the rhinos. And this is one of them. This was the Save the Rhino Foundation that I managed. We used to sell these pins at the various lodges, and I just think it's quite nice to have on your shirt. and maybe I'll get a whole lot, and I'll just decorate my whole collar. Hey, I'll just be a magnet target. Right, now, enough nonsense talking, but I hope you enjoyed the splish splash that Brent did, and I'm going to send you all the way across to Evia to see if those lions are still on the move.
These lions have decided to eventually settle down for the morning. The heat's getting to them, starting to get lazy. So we're going to enjoy the last bit of the sunrise safari with the lions. And hopefully this afternoon we'll be able to pick up on them again. All these youngsters, all the youngster that we are looking at now, is looking straight at the male that's sleeping in the shade a bit further back. Some of the lionesses are also having a good look at him, kind of giving that scary eye. Stay where you are, don't come any closer. So we'll have to see how the story unfolds further as the day continues. Hello, Mum. There's one of these cubs that's lying down in a very tiny mud wallow. So I would love to see if he gets up, if he's full of mud or if he's just on the side of the mud. Folks, it's almost time for the end. I would like to thank VM for all the assistance and help on the camera this morning. Thank you to all the other guys out there, Brent on walk, Tayla on the vehicle and the lions, ladies in the FC, and thank you to all the viewers. It's been a lovely morning full of exciting things. All the big creatures, the biggest cat of Africa, biggest land mammal and the tallest in one drive. Have a lovely day and we will see you a bit later.